I'm Mr. MegaManFan, and this is Homebrew Review. I had high hopes for GoSub going in. First of all, I liked the fact that it was a pun on a programming code from BASIC that I used to use a lot as a kid because you would write a sub routine to execute something in a code, and then you would use the words GoSub to go to that subroutine, and when you were done executing that code, you would return from that subroutine. It was very handy, very common to do. And any game that makes a pun out of that, I was in favor of, especially when it's an actual submarine that has to go places. Go sub. That's clever in my eyes. So I was looking forward to trying this, and then immediately got smacked in the face by running into a wall the moment I started, and having an octopus dog me everywhere and slow me down as I tried to move around the maze, which is ostensibly the goal of the game, and the game gives you feedback in the form of sonar to tell you when you're getting too close to the walls. That's all fine and well, but here's the thing. First of all, what happened to the octopus? It was dogging me the very first moment that I stepped into the game and started playing, and then it disappeared completely. I don't think I changed any of the settings, so where'd the damn octopus go? Second of all, that sonar noise, while it may be helpful if you were playing this game blind, I'm not playing it blind. I can see everything that I'm doing, so eventually it just gets really obnoxious. It's like somebody pinging on a glass window with their fingernails repeatedly, tap, 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 and you just don't want to hear it after a while. No, thank you, Samuel. I'm not playing this game. Well, I am playing this game, but I'm sure Ryan will get the reference. Well, there are maze games on Atari 2600. There's no shortage of them. Some of the oldest and earliest games, like Adventure, are maze games, but they have more to do. You have to pick up items and drop items in certain places, and you have a dragon that looks like a duck, or as Strongbad once said about it, "Somebody get this freaking duck away from me!" Yeah, there's at least some challenge here, and without the octopus, there's no challenge other than not running into walls, which is easy to do because the submarine has momentum from the moment you start moving. You can't stop. There are no brakes. I know that's really a weird concept in the ocean, right? I mean, how do you stop in something that doesn't have a surface you can come to a stop on? But at least you could turn off the jets in a submarine and stop moving forward through the ocean. I guess you could call that hitting the brakes. And I suppose if you stopped ascending or descending through the ocean, that would be a way of putting on the brakes too. If you're not rising to the surface or diving to the depths, you've stopped wherever you are. But with the motion of the ocean, you'd never technically be standing still. Not like we ever are standing still on the Earth anyway. It's constantly rotating, and then it's in motion around the sun on top of that. So standing still is probably overrated. Anyway, I digress. GoSub is a maze game on a console that has a lot of maze games, and it baffles me that this version was necessary. It's fun for a few minutes until you get tired of the very tight corners that you have to turn with little to no ability to control it, because when you start moving, you can't stop moving. So if you realize you aren't going to make a tight turn, you can't do anything other than try to back up and realign yourself. But what good is that when you're constantly in motion? Even when you're backing up, you're still going to smack into something else, even if it's not what you were headed directly toward. And, since I already talked about depth and being in the ocean on a X, Y, and Z plane, that's actually a huge detriment to a 2D game like this. They're making you think you're a submarine, but in reality, you're on a flat plane. So, nice try, but the illusion is shattered by the very nature of the game that we're playing. There's no actual depth. And maybe that's just a summary of GoSub in general on a platform that's rife with maze games, this particular homebrew doesn't necessarily stand out. I'm not saying that Chris Reed, Michael Ridout, and Fred Quimby did a terrible job coding it. I'm just saying I don't recommend it. It's fun if you try the download. You can play it for a few minutes and enjoy it, and then you're done with it. I'm Mr. MegaManFan. This has been Homebrew Review, and as always, thank you for watching.